the congregation to give them a round of applause. Your Excellency is blessed, and we continue to thank God every day for bequeathing to us, Your Excellency, such as Dr. Gabriel Igbinedion. It wouldn't have been any better. The enigma himself, and the man that has driven private sector incursion into the educational setting in Nigeria. It deserves a round of applause. And so we are taking advantage of his force to leverage on the Honorable Chancellor's corporate social responsibility along the following lines. The Honorable Chancellor just recently donated 5,000 capacity church named Archangel Gabriel Catholic Church, single-handedly built by His Excellency, donated to the Catholic Church of Nigeria here in Okada. Currently, an ongoing construction of a massive housing estate for the community, university community. There's also an ongoing construction of an ultra-modern hotel facility for foreign and national and continental visitors to the university and the community. Your Excellency has graciously and continuously provided educational scholarship and rebate for students, staff, and the children of the staff of this university since the inception of this university. And this has led to our university harvesting over 50 doctors of philosophy from that rebate, over 82 masters from the rebate, and undergraduate students from the rebate of the Honorable Chancellor. Your Excellency, sir, as I conclude with joy and delight, I would like to pay special attention to the host community. I will not fail Okada for identifying with the aspirations of Igbinedion University and providing a conducive and peaceful environment for academics to flourish. Thank you. We are indeed very grateful. You have been very supportive. You have been inspiring. You have encouraged us. And you are really worthy partners of progress. And may God bless Okada community. It is my hope that we will continue to live our university for mutual benefit in the coming years. Your Excellency, sir, as I conclude, Your Excellency, Honorable Chancellor, Your Excellency, the Deputy Chancellor, Your Excellency, the Pro-Chancellor, members of Council, very distinguished at that, Senate, management, staff, and students, I owe you gratitude. I owe you all gratitude. I owe you gratitude, and I owe you gratitude. You have joined with the management of this university to keep the dream of our Chancellor alive. You have kept faith in his vision, and you have insisted that the mission statement be fulfilled. I thank you for this opportunity. We at the University, Your Excellency, we are to extending the frontiers of excellence and scholarship for the overall benefits of students in particular and the society at large. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, conscious that a nation's future depends on its human resources, Igbinedion University has resolved more than ever before to lead in raising global leaders by equipping our students with requisite knowledge, skills, and aptitudes in tune with the dynamics of the 21st century. Finally, as I welcome you, let me seize the opportunity to express our thoughts and our feelings. God bless Igbinedion University.
Can we give him another round of applause, please? Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Chancellor, sir, May I now invite the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Governing Council of Igbinedion University, Okada, to address convocation. The Pro-Chancellor, sir.
Please remain seated. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of those states, ably represented, our Executive Secretary, National University Commission, Professor Okada Benin City, ably represented, our Honorable Chancellor of Igbinedion University, Okada, His Excellency, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osaweru, Igbinedion. Deputy Chancellor, His Excellency, Dr. Igbinedion. Members of Governing Council here present, distinguished graduates, visiting Vice Chancellors, Rectors and Provosts, military and paramilitary establishment heavily represented, distinguished Royal Highnesses, Captains of Industry, Senate, staff and students, members of the press, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. What I've done is to bold for mentioning and allow myself to completely be in line with what has been ably represented by the Public Affairs Office of the University. You fraternal greetings from the Governing Council of Igbinedion University, Okada. As a historical occasion, the 20th convocation ceremony for the award of degrees and prizes to the deserving students and eminent personalities. I would like to start, as I've done, by respectfully welcoming the representation of our host governor, His Excellency Godwin Obasaki, Executive Governor of Edo State. To this auspicious, we are most delighted. I also like to specifically welcome the representation of our special guest of honor, Professor Abubakar Adamu Rashid, the Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission. We are indeed grateful to you for honoring our invitation. May I welcome in a special way, in particular, the Chancellor of our great university, His Excellency, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osaweru Igbinedion, CFR. Our very distinguished guests, your variances, Royal Highnesses, Captains of Industry, the Honorary awardees designate, guest speakers, and dignitaries who have honored us with their esteemed presence. I welcome our distinguished guest speaker in particular, His Excellency Kabine Komara, Republic of Guinea. We thank you for accepting to be part of this momentous occasion. Let me congratulate our very, very distinguished honorary degree awardee designate, Pastor Dr. Chris Oyahilome, and Dr. Mrs. Rosemary Osula for a well-deserved honor. You are truly right in our respective of influence. You have made positive impact to human development deserving of recognition. On behalf of the Governing Council, I heartily facilitate with you on this momentous occasion. It is our sincere hope that will inspire you on to even greater accomplishment and service to humanity. The university is indeed proud of unbroken graduation in 23 years of existence. It is gratifying to note that of our founder, His Excellency, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawaru Igbinedion, CFR, to bequeath to future Nigerian quality education of international standard with unbroken academic calendar. This route for 2 days, over which we are humbly proud. Convocation in Igbinedion University is a ceremony that we gather despite distances as a collective of scholars, friends, faculty and staff to celebrate our achievement, recognize successes, and confer well-earned honors. As you are aware, education particularly, university education provides the pedestal for widening one's horizon. Each of you graduates are contributors to the grand enterprise of building on a collective human knowledge. Fortunately, Igbinedion University has provided education that cultivates competence, confidence, activity, and high moral character, thus laying a solid foundation required for future career. Your graduation is a remarkable achievement, considering that you have had to toil and study day and night to make it today a reality. We celebrate you and are confident that each and every will excel in your chosen path. Therefore, I urge you to go out there and be good ambassadors of your alma mater. Always remember that you are riding on the reputation cultivated by those before you in the last 20 years. I thank and congratulate guardians and well-wishers who stood by you all the way to ensure that you complete your studies in record time. This is no mean. It bears restating that when Igbinedion University, Okada, started 23 years ago as the pioneer private university in Nigeria, lots of uncertainties must have reared up, given the novelty of the adventure. However, over time, our performance has justified the federal government policy decision to allow private sector intervention at that level of education. Thanks to the daring of our Honorable Chancellor for blazing the trail. Such as today, we have now up to 111 in Nigeria. And our status, we are number 1. Our status, inclusive, entrepreneurial, and digital university, have been a source of strength in propelling excellence. We have kept pace with the dynamism of the global educational landscape wrought by the pandemic and globalization to ensure that our educational outcomes remain competitive. In this regard, we have established strategic and robust with Ivy League universities and other institutions around the globe with a view to enhancing scholarship and adding value to our educational curriculum. You've all listened to the colloquiums submitted by our Vice Chancellor. I call them colloquiums to include all, if you can remember, that we've been very, very much inclusive. We are right to have always referred to our Vice Chancellor as bulldozer. Do you hear me? As bulldozer. Reading the research and development are critical pillars, driving knowledge production at both the institutional and national development levels. The university has put in place deliberate reasons to encourage research by the faculty, which are already yielding fruits. Moreover, we have continued to encourage and support academic staff in attracting more research grants to build and enhance the ability of the university to deliver on its mandate. We have continued to expand our ICT infrastructure to facilitate deliverables in fostering digital innovation entrepreneurship. In the same way, we have expanded our physical infrastructure, the increased enrollment, while refurbishing others. At this juncture, I wish to place on record my gratitude to Honorable Chancellor, Your Excellency, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osauru Igbinedion CFR, and the Board of Regents for your goodwill and support at all times. I also wish to acknowledge the Deputy Chancellor, who has always been with us in Council, chalking out policy for the advancement of the university. Your Excellency, Chief Lucky Igbinedion, and members of the Governing Council for your invaluable contribution to the success story of our great university. I cannot conclude this address without acknowledging, underlying properly, university management, ably led by Mr. Vice Chancellor, Professor Lawrence Ikechukwu. Proud of your accomplishment and astute leadership of the university. Let me also thank the faculty and staff responsible for molding these brilliant minds who are graduating today. Please do rest assured that your labors shall never be in vain. On this note, let me sincerely welcome all of you for your attention.
Can we put our hands together for the Pro-Chancellor? Thank you, sir. I now have the privilege to call upon the Honorable Chancellor of Igbinedion University, Okada, to address convocation. The Honorable Chancellor, sir.
I stand in the giant footstep of our founder, Chancellor of Igbinedion University, Okada, Sir Gabriel Osawaru Igbinedion. To bring you his speech. But let me borrow his usual characteristic of having
listening to eminent professors speaking. The Vice Chancellor has spoken eloquently about of this great institution. And the Pro-Chancellor has also capped it off with same brilliant out of great achievements. So I would not want to bother you further by giving you another long speech. I'm sure you'll be very happy if I say I stand on established protocol. So the Chancellor is just to welcome you and to say you brought light into Igbinedion University. You have brought happiness, and I'm sure with Pastor Chris here, you have brought blessings. But let me quickly also congratulate today's graduates, the postgraduates, who is their special day. On behalf of the Chancellor, I congratulate you. And I'm sure you are all looking forward to the very eloquent lecture that our guest speaker is going to give now, the former Prime Minister of the Republic of Guinea, Dr. Kumara. So very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all once more. God bless all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. Another round of applause for our Honorable Chancellor. The Honorable Chancellor, sir, just before we continue, may I have the privilege of re-establishing the House rules? With absolute quiet, especially at the back there. It also means that our phones should be on silence or put off, completely. Conveniences are available behind, and also behind here for those on this side. The ushers will guide you when. Honorable Chancellor, sir, I now have the privilege to call upon our distinguished special guest of honor, Professor Abubakar Adamu Rashid, MNI, MFR, FANL, Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, ably represented by Professor A.M. Ghani, to deliver his message.
The chairman of this occasion and the chancellor of this great university, the executive secretary of National University Commission, Professor Abubakar Adamu Rashid, wanted to be here personally. The Honorable of Education, Malam Adamu, summoned him yesterday for a very important. He now called upon me, even though I had some engagement, to kindly represent him and register his sincere apology to the Chancellor and the founder. He is very proud of him and the university because this is the pioneer private university. He has founded it and he has sustained it to greater heights. And also, I wish to talk about the Pro-Chancellor of this great university, a seasoned academic, and other members of the Governing Council. You are lucky to have a very rich Governing Council, comprising of academics and technocrats, a former governor of this state. No doubt, this university is on the right pedestal, and for the successes the university has been recording. Among the Governing Council is my mentor and leader. I served under him when he was a Vice Chancellor at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, while he served as a Vice Chancellor for 9 years, Professor Abubakar Sani Sambo. He also served as the Director General of the Nigerian Energy Commission for 10 years. So you could see the caliber of people that you have on your Governing Council. He has asked me to deliver his address. I wish to read his address as follows. It is my distinct pleasure to be part of this milestone of Igbinedion University, Okada. I wish to immediately express my sincere appreciation to the Board of Regents, Council, Senate, management, staff, and students of this great university on the occasion of its 20th convocation ceremony, which takes place today, 12 November 2022. I single out and salute most respectfully the Honorable Chancellor of Igbinedion University, the Sama of Benin Kingdom, Chief Dr. Gabriel O. CFR LLD GCKB, a true visionary and an epitome of resilience. I most respectfully recognize and acknowledge the presence of the distinguished guest speaker, His Excellency Mr. Kabine, Minister of the Republic of Guinea. Your strides in Guinea are duly saluted and recognized. I also wish to appreciate the other guest speaker, Dr. David Smith, Chairman, British African Business Alliance, United Kingdom. The substance and essence of your speeches are quite appreciated. It is of great joy for me at this auspicious event to witness the award of certificates, diplomas, postgraduate diplomas, first degrees, master's degrees, Doctor of Philosophy degrees, and honorary degrees honoris causa. Having graduate and eminent personalities themselves in various endeavors. That Nigeria needs the requisite manpower to develop its endowed resources for the common good of all its citizens and humanity. To this end, the National University Commission is poised to regulate all academic activities in our universities and institutions in degrees with a view to producing graduates for national development and global competitiveness. The university should, among other things, emphasize on in their curricula and its deliverance to ensure our graduates are creative, innovative, and productive. Many nations have advanced on the basis of quality education in arts, science, and innovation. Nigeria should not be left. Nigerians and Nigeria look upon the universities for critical manpower that will propel it to greater heights. That your university is on the right trajectory for nation building and global engagement. It is on this premise that all Nigerian universities and degree awarding institutions to reposition themselves for the global challenges bedeviling us as a people and provide solutions for the benefit of humanity and the environment. Let me quote Nelson Mandela that says, education is the most powerful weapon which one which you can use to change the world. Aristotle said, the rules of education are built its sweet. Our university students must rise to the challenges of the 21st century by complementing their class, laboratory, studio works with self-determination in the pursuit of knowledge and service. On this note, I congratulate the Council, Senate, management of this university for a successful convocation ceremony. I wish to commend the Vice Chancellor for his effort in taking the university to greater heights. I joyfully congratulate the recipients of the honorary degrees for the feats they achieved in their various vocations, and wish they will support the university in its quest for quality education. To the graduates, you should face the future with confidence because of its embedded challenges. Thus, you must work harder, be creative, innovative, committed, and ethical in all your endeavors, so as to be shining ambassadors of Igbinedion University and Nigeria. God bless Igbinedion University. God bless Edo State. God bless the Republic of Nigeria.
Another round of applause for our guest of honor. Let's put our hands together for him, please. We're moving on quickly to the lecture. Honorable Chancellor, sir, may I now invite the university orator to read the citation of the guest speaker. His Excellency, Mr. Kabine Komara, former Prime Minister, Republic of Guinea, who will be speaking on the topic, the role of universities in promoting socio-economic integration in Africa. May I humbly request our distinguished guest speaker to please be upstanding as the citation is read.
Chancellor, sir, permit me to adopt the already well-established protocols. Citation on His Excellency Kabine Komara, former Prime Minister of Guinea, guest speaker of the 20th convocation ceremony holding today in this hall. His Excellency Kabine Komara, a proud Guinea national, a commander of the National Order of the Lion, prize winner of the Oscar for African Manager Leadership 2014 in Paris, a political spokesperson, was 8th of March 1950 in Kanka, Republic of Guinea. Mr. Chairman, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Kabine Komara has his educational training from various, among which École Supérieure d'Administration Guinea, where he obtained Master's Diploma in Management and Accounting with the greatest honor. Economic Institute, University of Colorado, Boulder, USA, where he obtained Certificate of Monetary Economics, Banking Institute, American University, where he obtained Professional Diploma in Management and Investment Banking. And of course, Rennes Business School, France, where he obtained the MBA degree with this. He deserves your round of applause, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, sir, ladies and gentlemen, with the high level of educational training, His Excellency was well prepared for the challenges ahead. Indeed, as far back as 1973 to 1974, His Excellency was the auditor in the presidency of the Republic of Guinea. Thereafter, he became the head of became the head of Compensation Department, Central Bank of the Republic of Guinea. This was between 1970. Elevated to the position of executive and financial advisor and later deputy director between 1975 and 1976. Between 1976 to 1984, he was the administrative director. Mr. Chairman, sir, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency rose in the field of high-level management and national governance. It was finally eyes when he was elected as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Guinea between 2000 and 2000. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, truly His Excellency Kamara training, potentials, and innate abilities has indeed turned him into a vessel for the transformation of not only his country, Guinea, but the world at large. Nothing than his continuous appointment as High Commissioner, OMVS Senegal, River Basin Development Organization, and an international consultant, Invesco, an American independent investment company. Mr. Chairman, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Franca in Guinea, he speaks and writes French and English fluently. He has many publications to his credit, books, editorials, and interviews to mention but few. He is the newest sought after at both local and international level, with over 40 years in the field of high-level management, national governance, and high-level international relations. In France, in finance, bank management, design and implementation of programs, and development of projects, to mention but few. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency is happily married, and the union is blessed with 6 wonderful, good, and highly responsible children. Chairman, sir, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor and privilege to request our highly distinguished audience to remain standing and give 3 hearty cheers as I humbly request our amiable His Excellency Kabin Komara to step forward and deliver his lecture. Let's stand up and give him a rousing ovation. Your Excellency, sir.
I feel shy after listening to all those highly appreciation on me. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Executive Governor of the state, Your Excellencies, Sir Gabriel Osauru Igbinedion, the Esama of Benin. You will allow me, for sake of shortening the time, to jump onto all the protocol aspects. As we will say in French system, all due protocol respected. Our great students and leaders of tomorrow. First of all, allow me to tell you that I came from Guinea, a country that, although French-speaking, is your great country, a tradition of struggle for the promotion and dignity of African people. Indeed, in 1958, it is Guinea that paved the way for independence of the 15 colonized by France. In doing so, Guinea, under the leadership of its five-state leaders, Ahmed Sékou Touré, despite all pressures and threats, was the only country to reject in September 19 the referendum of association that France had proposed to all its colonies of this era. Guinea suffered greatly, but was able to resist all maneuvers of destabilization, thanks to resolute support of brother countries like Nigeria. Please applaud Nigeria. I was only 8 years at that time, and all the education I benefited from is the result of the efforts of my country and the solidarity it received from countries and like those of Nigeria. I'm making this brief but important historical reminder because it is part of the reason why I was eager to accept the invitation of your prestigious university. So also because it gives me the humble opportunity to come and express my share of gratitude to your country, all the world people and Africans who came to assist us. The academic authorities of your university asked me to talk about the roles of the universities in promoting socio-economic. Given the cross-cutting nature of this subject and its burning topicality, I understand that I would like to ask for your indulgence in front of an audience made of such eminent professors and researchers who practice both here in Nigeria and in worldwide renowned university. Therefore, allow me to deal with this subject. To make my communication more intelligible, I will deal with the subject in three parts. The first part on the importance of integration for African states and people. The second part will make a retrospective of evolution. This part will help understand what is ignored by many of us, especially our younger generation. What great intellectuals and academics and researchers around Africa have called the need for African countries to embark on the path of integration. Often, it's not known, universities have been incandescent places in this area. The third and final part will address the aspect of integration when Africa is facing multiple challenges. It is important to know that Africa is far behind in terms of standard of living of its people. Although in almost every area, the development is handicapped by major constraints in income sources, the poor state of infrastructure, like road, energy, and the like. In addition, African countries export mainly raw material, which deprive us from added value that should earn economies and create more jobs. With the exception of 4 or 5 countries, such as Nigeria, Egypt, and South Africa, the small size of national domestic market means that locally manufactured products cannot compete with imported products from outside. Therefore, regional integration is likely to stimulate investment, common infrastructure, and improve city to serve a larger market. Even better, integration is a key factor for promoting social cultural cooperation, especially between neighboring countries whose population are spread over several states that share the common border. It is within that framework that 5 regional groupings were born, which to different extent have been able to achieve more or less appreciable results. African Continental Trade Area came last year, has the potential to bring significant economic and social gain for our continent. Let me turn now to elaborate about the retrospect. Here, for the sake of clarity, I will successively address the 3 aspects follow. First, the role played by eminent Africans, thinkers, and academics. Then the operation method of integration put in place by certain universities. And finally, integration space that certain universities have represented on the continent. Role of academics and thinkers. First of all, it should be recognized that Africa has been pioneer in the quest for regional integration. This goes back to the aspiration of the early nationalists in the 18th century who created a pan. It is very important for young women to know that Africans were the pioneer for integration. This is at the end until this continued until the Lagos Plan of Action, the Abuja Treaty, which established the African Economic Union, and finally the African Union, even now the African Trade Area. As this long journey was initiated and accompanied by academicians and great thinkers, we have animated a great debate between the African universities. It is really absolute to know that the debate started long ago about how Africa should depend. Among those who have taken up the quest for integration, it is worth mentioning academics from Africa and his diaspora job in Senegal, Jacques Kizerbo in Burkina Faso, and of course here, Adejeji Adebayo. The latter-fledged Nigerian professor, economist, and academic. He persisted with numerous major documents, which largely went unheeded, but whose principal ideas are resurfacing today in new impetus for Africa. Also, it was a school, but small, of influential group of scholars based on the Institute for African Alternatives, which pressed on the developing alternative through numerous seminars and conferences and many publications that did help to understand the need for integration. Some of the key ideas, ADG, for instance, have persisted in the main text, which of the African Union and its socio-economic development program, the main part and more. It is also important to mention Sheikh Anta Diop who broke a chronicle. He was a committed intellectual, a scientist, and an eminent researcher. He contributed to a political awakening of many African intellectuals. He had the courage, a reference book called Cultural and Economic Foundation of a Future Federal State in Africa. In doing so, he openly called on Africans to commit themselves from 1960 to a path of cooperation and integration. Other prominent figures of the diaspora were of d'Ivoire and so on. And sometimes, historically, diversions, the common idea was to have been militant of the student movement and that advocated for integral organization of our continent. Now let's talk about the method subsidies. It is in the university world that the operational modalities of African integration have been really developed with most success. One that is well known in Francophone Africa is the CAMES, African and Malgache Council for Higher Education, a good example for and management of university career. It is applied at level. Among its objectives were to transcend national border and allow mobility in a transparent manner. Now, how some universities have been a center of promoting integration. Some old universities that were established during the colonial time have been themselves an integration space. To note, the University of Ibadan in Nigeria, and the University of Dakar, the University of Honorary College in Sierra Leone, Legon in Accra, University of Egypt, and Rabat in Morocco. They became, as featuring multinational structures and their faculty. It is a colonial heritage to a certain extent, but because these heritages were intended, they were created by colonialism, the Center for Integration. You will now allow me to talk about the importance of how African could develop a future. In doing first about the role of integrating the need to raise the standard and agree on common standard for university in Africa. Unless African university can adopt the same system of measurement and quality and methodology, it will be very difficult to produce resources that can compete not only locally but also worldwide. After that, I should call about 4 areas of expectation. My first idea is that African university should collaborate in the following one. The first one is about what I call strengthening the competence of African hydro-diplomacy and climate negotiation. Why? Today, a large tribute check that it has not been the basis, the sources for emanating of CO2 gas emission, but yet it is the one that is talking about many sub-concepts like diplomacy, like climate justice, but no one or few Africans do master this idea. It is very important that African university should launch an idea, how to press this knowledge so that we can be fundamentally strong to be able to debate and compete with our university and protect our idea and our continent. Otherwise, we'll head our continent definitely in the fall. It's very, very important that this should be debated. The second issue is the issue of shared resources. One, water. Water is essential in every mankind's life. Today, water is a problem everywhere. You can see the struggle between Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan. This was almost leading to a war. Lake Chad, which is bordering Nigeria, it has lost one surface due to evaporation. It has led even to propel the war that Boko Haram is holding there. Even in Nigeria, between farmers, is creating the loss of at least 1,000 people every year. My country, Guinea, is the 1,200 rivers and spread it across the continent. The river Niger is born there. It's crossed Mali, Niger, and ends in the sea in Nigeria. If you visit Niger today, the river Niger in Guinea and Mali, you will suffer because it has been severely damaged by many, many wrongdoing. So it is very important that we do cooperate on water issues. Water is the essential problem of the future. If you take the case of Nigeria today, you have, it's not only in Guinea, in Mali, in Senegal, it's here, it's everywhere. We must take water issue as a national and critical issue. For that purpose, I call on the university to launch a critical and massive studies to find out source of water and how to protect them, how to manage them, and how to share their validity. It is very important for future our generation. My next issue is about food security. Food security has become a critical issue, very critical. 18% of world countries that suffer from undernutrition. In the case of Nigeria, for instance, the northern part suffered a serious drought this year, and the southern part faces a lot of flood. It has deprived the country for nearly 1 hectare of land. The harvest will be certainly on jeopardy this year. It's the same situation in Niger, in Liberia, in Mozambique, in Kenya. So we are suffering. We are hunger. We are even going into famine. Should we resist, or should we continue to watch the situation without acting? I think it's important that African universities should unite. You have enough skill and capability to strengthen the research and see how we can, inside Africa, to feed our population. This is essential. My last issue is to call on university what I call cultural heritage. You know, colonized by Europe. They took our resources to Europe, like bauxite, iron ore, or that. They also took our cultural heritage. As you can know, here in Benin, the British took 600 pieces of heritage element to Britain, and they sold it to German. We are not finished to make the inventory of all our stolen elements of our art, unless we cannot feed that morally and culturally. We need to recover those pieces of art across the world, whatever they are, so that we can give back in Africa and give to our new generation so they can be proud of us. I call on the university really to launch a research center collectively so that we can pursue and research and find all those research elements are. So that ladies and gentlemen, before concluding, I would like to say that I'm privileged to be here, but I'm more happy to know that this university is a flagship, not only in Nigeria, but in Africa. Having listened to you, I'm sure that will take back to my country many ideas. I came with my son that is going on here so that he can also be a person that will tell to his friend in Guinea that something proud also to be here because this private university is setting the tone, not only for Nigeria, but for many, many Africans. Why? The faculties, you have the essence of excellence. Not only that, but you are bringing many, many, many more Africans and Nigerians together, which is really the sense of unity and integration. I would like to conclude my remarks by congratulating the graduated this year. Of course, I will not forget our two eminent people who will be honorary graduates now. Before concluding, I say gratitude to the founder of this university, his eminent personality, Esawa Igbinedion. Why? He has paid tribute. He gave his wealth, his fortune to this country. It is this type of citizen in Africa that we need to pride and to applaud. Please applaud him. So long live to Nigeria, long live to Africans who give their fortune and their life to the development of the continent. Thank you very much.
Please, very thought-provoking and illuminating lecture. May I, in the tradition of Igbinedion University, Honorable Chancellor, to kindly present to our distinguished guest speaker as a token of our appreciation, inspiring lecture.
What's a come carry?
The universe displays, then sing my soul, my Savior to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art! And sing, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art! Thank you, Jesus. Lord. Glory, 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 glory. Praise the Lord. Glory. Amen. It's a great day, and it's been for this institution. Praise the Lord. You may be blessed.
At the back, Igbinedion University, Okada. The guest speaker who gave the lecture today is not but the Prime Minister of a country for many years. Privilege and pleasure to present this plan to you for coming. May God bless you. As the guest speaker of the year 2020, the university 20 years, today about 23 years old. Thank you.
Of congratulatory and goodwill messages. The Honorable Chancellor, sir, may I, with pleasure, invite the following individuals and organizations to present to the Vice Chancellor their goodwill messages to the university on this auspicious occasion. Call out the reps of the institutions to present, not in any particular order, their messages. First, I have Professor Eddie Eragbe, representing of Nigerian universities. I will continue. Next, Dr. A.O. Adigun, Deputy Secretary General, Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian Universities. Next, Professor B.A. Ayinde, DVC, that is Deputy Vice Chancellor, Ekenwa Campus of Uniben, representing the Vice Chancellor, Professor Lilian Salami, who is the Chairman, Committee of Vice Chancellor of Nigerian University, and also the Vice Chairman, Association of African Universities. Next, I would like to invite Professor Chris Egwahide, representing Major General I.M. Yusuf, Commandant, Nigerian Defense Academy, Nigeria's premier military university in sub-Saharan Africa. Next is Professor representing Professor Abiodun Adebayo, Vice Chancellor, Covenant University, Ota. Next is Professor Stephen Osahan, representing Andy Eguriyenga, Vice Chancellor, Delta State University. Dr. Stanley Edobo, Registrar, representing Professor Abiodun Falodun, Rector, Edo State Polytechnic, Use. Next is Dr. Tosan Erabo, Nigeria. And last but not the least, Professor Steve Iai, representing Vice Chancellor, LoveWorld University, Benin.
sure.
Your Honorable Chancellor, it is my rare honor and privilege to announce the presence in our midst of our special guest of honor, His Excellency Professor Anjo, SAN, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Transportation, Madam Muazu Jaji Sambo. A round of applause for him, please. The Honorable Chancellor, sir, with your consent, we shall swap the program by taking conferment of honorary degrees first before admission to higher degrees. The Honorable Chancellor, sir, Senate, and the Governing Council of Igbinedion University, Okada, resolved that an honorary doctorate degree be conferred on Dr. Chris Oyahilome. I therefore call on the University Orator, Professor George Izebua, the current Dean of Law, to present him for the degree of Doctor of Science, DSc, honoris causa.
Honorable Chancellor, sir. Citation on Pastor Christian Oyakilome, PhD, President, LoveWorld Incorporated, Christ Embassy. May I request our noble awardee to stand up for his citation. Chairman, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The famous American President George Washington once said, when you do the common thing in life way, you will command the attention of the world. President, kings, and queens in both political and... These account for the world attention to a man filled with the Holy Spirit, a teacher of the undiluted word, a renowned healing evangelist, whose ministry has impacted billions around the world. Pastor Chris, a third-generation preacher of the president of LoveWorld Incorporated, a multifaceted global Christian ministry, also known as Christ Embassy. This noble man of great God, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, was born on the 7th of December, 1963, to the family of Elder Tim Oyakilome and Deaconess Angelina Oyakilome, both Christian in their own right. Certainly, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, his girl at birth never betrayed his sign of growing into greatness. Indeed, his early potentials and nature self as a great man were known to have been hidden in his sinews, his strength of hope and ability of this magnitude. No wonder he conducted his first evangelism crusade at the young age of 15 years, preaching and winning souls for Christ. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Chris Oyakilome, as he's fondly called, attended the Ambrosali University, then Bender State University, Ekpoma, after his primary and secondary education, which he passed in flying colors. He obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in architecture. It was at that school LoveWorld was birthed. Christ Embassy. This church is now a light that shines like a billion halogen bulb put together that cannot be hidden. Mr. Chairman, sir, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Chris had a dream, mission, and calling to the ministry. His quest for this earned him a PhD in theology and discipline within Christian theology that focuses on the study of Holy Spirit. He was awarded 2 honorary doctorate degrees also. Mr. Chairman, sir, most respected ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Chris is a publisher of many devotional guidebooks. In fact, the first edition of Rhapsody Guide for studying the Bible, which is now acclaimed as the world #1 daily devotional. Please wait to hear more. Guide, which is the most translated and most widely distributed book in the world. Turned into 6,300 languages. Currently, the print is over 22 billion copies. Other books which he has authored include the power of your mind, of these diseases, prophecy, how to make your faith work, goes on and on. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in 2002, the world-renowned healing school was established and grown to include several outreaches, including the LoveWorld Medical, the Global Youth Healing to the Nation magazine, and the Healing Stream online TV channel. Hear this. In 2020, live broadcast of the Healing Stream, live healing services reached 6.7 billion people worldwide. Today, there are LoveWorld satellite stations in several countries, in USA, South Africa, United Kingdom, Canada, India, and the entire of Middle East. Chairman, since 2007, when the International School for Ministry, ISM, was founded, ministers are trained and incorporated into a network of over 700,000 ministers, cells, and 70 million members in 242 nations of the world under the spiritual leadership of Pastor Chris Oyakilome. From 177 nations of the world attended the World Evangelical Conference with Pastor Chris in August 2019 in London, United Kingdom. In 2022, 78 million ministers from 240 countries participated in ISM Global Ministry Classroom with Pastor Chris. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and respected audience, exemplified. With over 40 years in the ministry, he has remained faithful to the calling of our Lord, his message to the nations of the world. Pastor Chris is a faithful man of God and a loving father. Mr. Chairman, sir, very distinguished listeners, with the fear of God, of trepidation, permit me to invite this man of God, filled with the Holy Spirit, ordained from an archangel in human form, goes out and receive his honorary award. Thank you, sir.
By the powers vested in me as Chancellor, I hereby Oyakilome, Doctor of Science.
My hands are blessed. Anything I touch, one, I do, one, my eyes are filled with the blessings of God. My dear brothers and sisters, today is the day that the laws are created. I thank God. I didn't just want to give you honorary degree. You can see the other time there were flags. Abuja Jawa, go say the second of Ife. My brother is worth to be in that place. Honorary degree can get anywhere. But what I want to do now, you can't get it. Very rare. I start to be challenged. Very rare. I want, where is come and give 100 degrees to your husband. Say, my brother, read it, open it and read it.
Thank you very much, sir. I first want to congratulate our dear man of God for this conferment. Congratulations, sir. What is reading here? Bestowal of honor to Pastor Dr. Chris Oyakilome. Sir, in recognition of your sterling and significant contribution to the spiritual upliftment of mankind, the pastor and founder of Christ Embassy, and your exceptional to the healing ministry, I have the singular honor as the Honorable Chancellor and Visitor to name Igbinedion University Teaching Hospital as Pastor Dr. Chris Oyakilome Igbinedion University Teaching Hospital. Accept my congratulations.
Honorable Chancellor, sir, I have the privilege to invite Pastor Dr. Chris Oyakilome to respond.
First, say good afternoon, everyone, and very specially give my appreciation and express gratitude for so much honor that's been done to me today. First, by the proprietor, chancellor of this university, the founder of this university, the Sama of Benin Kingdom, His Excellency Dr. Igbinedion. I think maybe I will express my thought about him shortly. But I'd like to thank the Members' Council, of course the Board of Regents, and then the Senate, Vice Chancellor of this university, thank you all very much for so much honor. Just a moment ago, I met the representative of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to whom also I express appreciation that he would also send a representative to be here. And several of other universities, leaders that are here present, traditional rulers, and many leaders in our country. I want to thank you for this very special occasion. I must also recognize very especially those who are graduating today from this university, the students. Congratulations to you. Of course, as you know, without you, we wouldn't be here. So I congratulate you indeed. And all the students who are members of this university community. I thank you all, and the lecturers. And from my arrival at this place, I was received by the founder of the university himself, Chief Igbinedion himself. And I had a wonderful experience. He drove me in his car. That was a most amazing moment for me. And I'll tell you why it fills my heart with so much joy just to see him today. I met him for the first time in 2019. If you in Benin City, in my own years of life, there's no way you wouldn't have known about Chief Igbinedion. We grew up knowing his name. And then in 2019, I got a message. Chief Igbinedion wants to see you. I said, who wants to see me? I was in South Africa. So I thought maybe there was a miscommunication. I questioned Evangelist Dr. Ediowase severally. I asked many questions to be sure he knew what he was talking about. Finally, it seemed he knew what he was talking about. And we set the date. And he came. Chief was in a wheelchair. He had been sedated. When he came, he could not walk. He said, my limbs are damaged, they're paralyzed. I can't walk. I looked at him, and we sat together, sat close to him. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. I put my hands on his limbs. He had faith like a child. He got up, walked out of that place to his car by himself. I went to visit him afterward. Now, I've been here, I noticed he's been singing praises to God. He's leading you in. Maybe you don't know why a man like this will be thinking so much about God. He received the Holy Spirit. speaking in tongues. I'm not sure many of you knew that. So you're looking at a man who is filled and prays in other tongues of the Spirit. You're seeing. So I went to visit him. When I left him, I discovered something I'm going to tell you. And I've talked about, Your Excellency, I've spoken about you on several occasions to several others. And I want to tell you what I've said about you. And today, only further amplified my thoughts. I said, in this man, the most excellent, most elegant, and most humble man that I have ever met. And I'm serious. And that was in 2019. I've never met someone more excellent, elegant, and at the same time, so humble. And I pray that we looking at you and receiving so much from you would take what you've imparted the world with. I was touched by you. I was touched by you. And today, I've been seriously impacted by you. I didn't just receive an award. I thank you for the award. But I received more. Much love from you. Thank you for your love. Thank you so much for your love. And I appreciate it. And I thank you for this school. I thank you for what you've done. Let me tell you a little more, just a little more. Would you oblige me? Just a little more? When we got in the car, he asked me to get in the car. We got in the car, and he was driving. At the point, those in front of us who were supposed to be leading us knew where we were going. When they made a detour and turned, negotiated into the corner, he just sped off. For the moment, I thought, did His Excellency miss the way? I wasn't sure, but I was relaxed because, God, you know. So we kept going. Others realized he didn't miss this way, he knew where he was going. Then we got somewhere, and he pointed, he said, from here down to the river, all this land, I give it to you. We drove down the incline. And there was a signboard that they had placed there, Christ Embassy. He said, now you can do whatever you like with this land. So I realized that's where he was going. They thought maybe we missed the way. But I'm amazed. And then today, putting my name on the SAR, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for this recognition. Thank you. I was speaking to the former governor of Edo State, his son, who is the Deputy Chancellor, His Excellency Igbinedion. Thank you very much. He said to me, he said, you have a new driver today. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're from an amazing family, and I'm so grateful to know you. I thank you for this university. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. Thank you. God bless you.
clapping, keep clapping until he gets to his seat.
Just from Sosola, please, come forward. Barisa Yoha.
Your Excellencies, Honorable Chancellor, it is now my rare and single to invite the representative of the Vice President, Honorable Minister of Transportation, Malam Muazu Jaji Sambo, to deliver his goodwill message.
It's working. Your Excellency, the founder of the Igbinedion University, the very Honorable Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawaru Igbinedion CFR at the Esama Kingdom. Your Excellency, Chief Lucky Igbinedion, former Governor of Edo State. Please permit me to stand on already established. I am delighted to be here today at the 20th convocation ceremony of Igbinedion University. 23 years ago, Igbinedion University led as the first private university in Nigeria. I must commend the founders of this great institution for taking this bold step. Your audacity opened opportunities for millions of Nigerians. And as a result, we currently have 79 private universities and some 140 privately owned tertiary institutions in Nigeria today. On this auspicious occasion, I wish you many more years of success as you continue to pursue your mandate of being a center of academic excellence through teaching and knowledge production. With a specific focus on tertiary education, the obvious reality is Government alone cannot solve our educational challenges. According to the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, that is JAM, in 1929, the carrying capacity across our institutions stood at 750,000, while no fewer than 1.9 million candidates apply yearly. We have to rethink our model to make university education more qualitative and accessible. To achieve this, we must foster strategic partnerships between the government and the private sector. From your program event yesterday, the guest speaker addressed the need for strategic business partnerships for sustainable higher education in Africa. I strongly believe such partnerships will be very important in addressing our educational challenges. As a nation, we must, one, invest in more open universities. With the number of youths accounting for 10% of our population, we cannot overemphasize the need to expand the capacity of our tertiary education landscape cost effectively. Two, encourage transnational education by deliberately attracting top foreign universities across the world to set up their campuses in Nigeria. This will enhance quality and engender healthy competition. Three, deepen private sector partnerships. You will recall that the first government university in Nigeria, the University of Ibadan, was founded in 1948. Today, there are 43 federal universities and 48 state universities in the country. This shows that it has taken both the federal and state governments 74 years to establish 91 universities, whereas it has only taken the private sector 23 years to establish universities. This reaffirms the need to deepen our partnerships with the private sector. Speaking of national standards and quality, and referencing the speech by His Excellency Mr. Kumara, the former Prime Minister of Guinea, news that the world is a global village. Universities across Africa must align with international best practices to deliver standards and qualitative education to their students. Anything short of this, our continent would be uncompetitive. Industries, the tertiary education sector has several governing bodies and agencies dedicated to ensure quality and standards are maintained. These bodies must not let us down. They must passionately carry out their responsibilities